I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky.
What's going on, guys? It's Lightning, guys. Today I am bringing you guys another Destiny Top 5, guys. In today's Top 5, we're going to be doing the Top 5 locations on Mars. The rules for today's Top 5 is that these locations have to be good for farming planet materials, action-packed areas where there's unique and lots of enemies to kill, and also just a really cool looking unique spot in Destiny that's a really cool place to visit. But with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let's get straight into it. Coming in at our number 5 spot, guys, in today's video, this is going to be the Buried City. Now, what I really like about the Buried City is that it gives us really cool Golden Age city that has now been buried by sand. And there's a few locations like this on Mars, but in my opinion, the Buried City does it the best. There are lots of unique enemies to kill. There's harpies with shields, and there's all kinds of Vex. You got the hobgoblins, the goblins, the minotaurs, the harpies. You just got lots of Vex to kill. Another thing too that I like about the Vex is that you can shoot their heads off, and if you ever need help in a public event, you just shoot their heads off. And they can be a distraction. They can try shooting you, but they can also try shooting the other enemies. In my opinion, it's a good strategy, and not a lot of people notice it. But that's something I really like about the Vex. Another thing too about this location is that the Relic Iron really pops out in this location. Like, it's super easy to find the Relic Iron. There isn't a lot of it, but it just really pops out and it's really easy to find. Just the look of the Buried City is pretty cool. I thought it had to come on this list somewhere, so what better spot than number 5. Coming in at our number 4 spot, we have the Valley of the Kings. Now, the Valley of the Kings is kind of a missed opportunity in my personal opinion. The reason I say it's a missed opportunity is because you can have an epic Vex and Cabal fight going on over here. But no, they're having like a staring contest. I mean, just look at the two. Look at the Cabal and Vex. They're seriously having like a staring contest. I mean, they're less than 20 feet from each other. Why are they not trying to kill each other? The only way you can make these two fight is if you shoot the heads off the Minotaurs and the Vex Hobgoblin, and you go over to the Cabal base. It helps if you have Cloak, because then you can just cloak and the two will fight each other, and that's the only way you can get them to really fight each other. Even then, you did a lot of damage to the Vex, so it ain't much of a fight. Other than the Vex and Cabal not trying to fight each other, it is honestly a pretty cool location. Another thing that's kind of a missed opportunity is that when someone goes in for the final vanilla Destiny mission, the portal becomes active and people even on patrol can go up to this portal, and it gives you kind of like this cool looking effect thing. And I thought they could have put in like a really cool Easter egg or something, maybe like a reference to Cortana and Halo, something like that, you know, but no, they didn't. It just gives you this. It is a cool effect, don't get me wrong, it's just they couldn't have done something with this. They could have put in an Easter egg or something like that. But other than that, it is a pretty cool looking location. You have this big Vex portal. You also, if you go look in the background, there's like lots of Vex constructs and stuff like that. It is a pretty cool location, but like I said, just a missed opportunity, and that's why it comes in at our number 4 spot. Coming in at our number 3 spot, we have the Rubicon Wastelands. Now, the thing about the Rubicon Wastelands that I love so much, and the reason it scores so high on this list, is because it's like a giant playground on Mars. Number 1, you have vehicles, the interceptors that you can kill the Cabal with. If not, if you want to kill the Cabal on foot, you can also do that. Another thing too is that the Taken will spawn, and you can kill the Taken with the interceptors, and that's pretty cool. The last thing that makes it score super high on this list is that the pack of wolves spawn in this location. This is the last place a pack of wolves can spawn. In my opinion, this is like one of the best locations. Number 1, like I said, you have the vehicles. You can kill the pack of wolves with the vehicles. You can kill them on ground. Honestly, I just really like the Pack of Wolves. It was a super fun event back in the House of Wolves, and I'm glad to see it return some way here in Destiny. And I'm glad it's on the Rubicon Wastelands because there's just so much you can do here in the Rubicon Wastelands. You can kill the Taken and the Cabal, and you can kill the Fallen, and you can also kill them with the Interceptors. Even if you want to fight them on foot, there's so much you can do. You can snipe them, you can get up close with a shotgun or fusion rifle. There's just so much ways to fight these enemies, and there's just so many awesome enemies on this location. And honestly, it's just an epic location. That's why it scores so high on this list. Coming in at our number 2 spot, we have the Barrens. Now, the Barrens is just honestly a really good location. It has everything that makes a great location in Destiny. It has lots of enemies to kill and lots of action with the enemies. Has lots of places to farm for planet materials, and honestly, it's just a really cool looking location. There's lots of cities in the background that are just buried by sand, and you can just see like the moons and stuff of Mars, and honestly, it's just a cool looking location. Another thing too is that I like to shoot the Vex heads off and troll the Cabal with them, or even other players, because this is is the starting location of Mars, and for some reason there's a lot of like inactive players for some reason, and I like to troll them, and I also like to troll the Cabal. Also, you can use the Vex to your advantage, like if you have to go do a war set or something, you need some help, you just shoot off the Vex heads, they'll come out, they'll raise some hell, they'll be a distraction for you, they'll also sometimes damage the other enemies. They can damage you, but it doesn't happen that much. And if you have the Hunter with the cloak ability, it works pretty good. I mean, the strategy is pretty good. I'm surprised no one has really thought of it yet. I also like using the Vex to help me take out the Taken, because there's a lot of Taken and sometimes them hobgoblins will snipe you. It's just nice to have a distraction to take them off, and they'll actually do a lot of damage to these people. Like I have some footage where they're taking out like a couple goblins and stuff. I mean, they're pretty effective. Honestly though, just the Baron's just an honestly great location on Mars. But there's one more location on Mars that does all of this better than the Barons. And guys, coming in at our #1 spot, we have the Scablands, otherwise known as the Exclusion Zone. The Exclusion Zone has been hyped up from Bungie before Destiny even released. Bungie always talked about how the enemies will switch between day and night, like the Cabal will loosen up their security at night, and then in the day they'll be like right up in people's faces, which is actually true. If you actually go out into the day, they'll be like, the Cabal will be up in the Vex's face, and at night the Cabal are pushed back more and the Vex are like more spaced out and they have more room and stuff. The day and night effects is actually pretty cool, and I think it should be implemented into all the other planets and all the other locations, because it's something I think is super cool, and it's something that really makes the Exclusion Zone really unique. Another thing too is that the Exclusion Zone has really everything that the Barons has. Plus the unique factor, it's great for farming materials, there's lots of action with the enemies, it's also just a really cool location to look at. You got this cool Cabal structure, and you also have everything in the background, so it's honestly just a cool looking location, and I think it does everything a little bit better. I mean, there's a lot more chests, there's a lot more action, when there's public events or the Taken spawn, in my personal opinion, it just plays out a little bit better than the Barons, because there's a lot more cover, there's a lot more trenches and stuff, and also like I said, you can use the Vex to your advantage. The only thing that I think that the Exclusion Zone could improve on is if they added vehicles, but that's just something I personally like because I really like vehicle gameplay in Destiny. But guys, like I said, the Exclusion Zone, just a very epic location here in Destiny, and that is the reason it is at our #1 spot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's kind of hard list to make because just Mars is just a really cool location. It's probably the best like patrol planet in my personal opinion, just because of vehicles and stuff like that. There's just so much you can do on Mars. You can play with the vehicles, you can shoot off Vex heads and troll other players in Cabal. And honestly, I just really like Mars. It's just a really good patrol planet. But guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I have the Dreadnought top 5 locations coming up next. I will try getting that video out in the next couple weeks. But like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And guys, I'll see y'all in the next one.